Counterfeit in mechanical. Introduction. What is counterfeit material? Counterfeit material refers to items that are unauthorized copies or identical fraudulent substitutes that have been identified, produced in the market marked, or altered by another source than that of items legally authorized by supplier or misrepresenting to be authorized items of the legally authorized supplier. To identify and prevent the materiel that is at high fraudulent risk, preventative measures, early detection processes, strengthened procedures, and accountable method with the end-use application of the materiel in the system or its criticality, and to ensure all instances of counterfeit materiel or suspect counterfeit materiel are reported.
Counterfeit material poses risk in
1. Supply chain, potentially resulting in loss of material, mission, or life of material. 2. Counterfeit material refers to items that are unauthorized copies or substitutes that have been identified, not marked, but the imitation of the master of any products with little loophole of the product will be identical.
Point 2. Altered by a source other than the item's legally authorized supplier or have been misrepresented to be authorized items of the legally authorized supplier. Examples include but are not limited to used material will be resold in the market.
Point material containing additional content which is not required by their original manufacturer, for example, added intended functions, modified firmware, etc.
5th point, says that counterfeit material is a serious threat to the safety and operational effectiveness to your firm, as counterfeit material is often manifested itself not only during initial system testing but in reduced system life.
We all know that counterfeit material affects all supply classes. It is reasonable to assume that if a material can be counterfeited,
assessing counterfeit material risk.
During design to selection of materiel, the risk of counterfeit material needs to be assessed and mitigations to be examined. While this is a continual part of the risk management process and is initiated throughout the material selection process, the first formal assessment should take place as part of the preliminary design review, PDR, and the following applies. Refer MIL Standard 3018 Parts Management. As we know, the Systems Engineering Technical Reviews SETR assessments to determine the risk of counterfeiting must also be AS 5553 considered, as materiel in this standard refers to a material, parts, assemblies, and other procured items process. Such as the PDR assessment criteria should include considerations for
technology roadmap of the parts and material selected and a long-term availability of the material, stability of the suppliers and location, region, of the suppliers. 1. Criticality of the material. 2. Criticality of the application. 3. Susceptibility to counterfeiting.
Strategic value. Special precautions should be taken for materiel that would provide tactical or strategic value of any product.
Likelihood of counterfeit. We know that all material can be counterfeited. However, there are several factors that make an item more likely to be a target of counterfeiters.
Obsolescence. Obsolete material is no longer available from trustworthy suppliers such as the original manufacturers, original manufacturer, or an authorized supplier. If the material is in demand, and the selling price may increase significantly enough to justify counterfeiting.
Difficult to procure procurement. Some material have challenges such as special materials waivers, rare materials, environmental concerns, etc. Falsification of documentation may allow non-compliant material to be sold fraudulently. Lead time of counterfeiters can often provide very short lead times for material, making the material a more attractive option when the schedule is critical.
Multiple versions on selling counterfeit parts. Materiel with multiple compatible versions available can be profitably misrepresented. An example might be a common bolt or washer that is available in several different grades or integrated materials with commercial, industrial, and military temperature ranges available. In these cases, lower quality or lesser parts can be sold for a higher price. Likelihood of counterfeit. Counterfeiting starts here with price and volume. Counterfeiters are much increasingly likely to deal in material where a significant profit can be gained, either through an upper purchase price or through large volume sales. Upper sale price items are targeted and listed at one believed to capture customers seeking lower purchase costs. Counterfeiters will often target material that is misbelief in multiple quality levels, procuring low counterfeit commercial items that can be remarked and sold at a higher price as industrial, automotive or military materiel.
Common commercial materiel. Items commonly used in commercial applications are more likely to exist in high volume as metal scraps, electronic waste or e-waste. The product that has been used in the prior application, it may be resold as a new product, although the material's reliability has likely been affected.
Qopikun. Our implementation's quality is assured. We focus on quality implementation.
Part 2, Supplier Selection and Procurement.
To minimize counterfeit risk, material should always be purchased from the original manufacturers, or an authorized supplier when available. If an unauthorized supplier is the only available source, then it needs to be approved by your customer. The supplier should be assessed to a set of criteria before being considered a low-risk supplier. Procedures should allow the technical authority for each purchase to determine supplier suitability based on these criteria. Procurement procedures for high-risk material should utilize an approved suppliers list, ASL, that is updated at least annually by all the organization.
Material can be procured from original manufacturers. The original manufacturers, organization will definitely have design engineers the material knowledge and has obtained the intellectual property rights. A NOM typically provides a warranty for the material that not only includes replacement cost, but can include further assistance such as failure analysis, reliability data, and other support. This supplier type is the lowest risk possible. Materiel purchased from a NOM has typically been produced completely within the manufacturer's controlled processes and facilities. Material can be procured from supplier types. At-risk material to be purchased from an authorized supplier. Whenever possible. If an authorized supplier is not available, material must be purchased from a supplier that meets appropriate counterfeit avoidance criteria, per industry standards listed in outlines 12 system criteria requirements for covered contractors and their subcontractors, when buying electronic parts. These 12 requirements
should be considered for any organization, not just a contractor, which buys material. not just electronic parts. As previously mentioned, the supplier type is the most critical factor in ensuring the purchase of authentic parts. There are 4 main types of suppliers. Descriptions of these 4 supplier types are listed.
Aftermarket manufacturers. An aftermarket manufacturer are the one who obtained the rights from the OEM, original manufacturer, to produce and sell replacement material. Original manufacturer demand still remains. If the aftermarket manufacturer has obtained the intellectual property rights from the OEM, then the risk of counterfeit is very low, similar to the risk of buying from an OEM original manufacturer. Warranty from an aftermarket manufacturer is typically the same as from an OEM original manufacturer.
Thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe our channel for not to miss any QA training videos.
Now you can follow us on all like
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn,
Twitter. Awaiting your warm wishful presences in all our social media.
We Qopikun promote the business as well as professionally.